The Northern Lights are a bucket list item for most people, including Amy and I. So we decided to head to Fairbanks, Alaska, one of the best places in North America, to hopefully see them and to spend 3 days exploring the snowy wonderland that is Fairbanks in the winter. Be sure to stay till day 3 where we go dog sledding and to the famous Chena hot springs.
Here we go!
The adventure started with a flight from Los Angeles to Seattle and then another flight from Seattle to Fairbanks, eventually arriving later in the afternoon.
Feels refreshing out here.
I'm not very practiced on my winter driving, so I decided not to rent a car for this trip, and I just used public transportation, shuttles, and different tour operators. Our first order of business was to connect with the shuttle for Pikes Lodge, which was only a 5-minute drive away from the airport. This was going to be our home base for the next 3 days. Made it to our hotel. We are cabin number 12. It is beautiful out here. That's actually a river. Obviously not right now. Check it out. We have a bathroom and a half kitchen area. And then we have a nice sitting area with this awesome fire that they had already turned on for us when we checked in. And then we have a bedroom with the TV back here and another great view out over the ice. And this is what we're hoping to see while we're here. Tomorrow night is going to be our Aurora Chasing night, so we'll see if we get lucky. We are going to be out tomorrow night from 9 p.m. until 4 a.m. So can't say we didn't try. Care to play a game of bocce?
Walls look frozen.
Our hotel is known for all the fun amenities they have in the winter and the summer, so we decided to take the rest of the day just to explore the hotel and the surrounding area, especially since we didn't have a car anyway. Amy and I did dodge a bullet as it was negative 38 last week and it's supposed to be negative 30 this week, and it's a warm 5 degrees while we're here. Hard to beat.
Can you imagine negative 35?
This is the room that they have set up if you're waiting for the aurora. Look at that view out the top. Fortunately, it's cloudy for us, but this is a cool place to hang out. It's heated and everything. And they have a beautiful instrument you can play.
Setting the mood. It sounds like the aurora. It's a theme song.
We're in the Aurora Discovery Center and you can actually see where the aurora is going to be.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool. And there's a massive globe here as well. This isn't sponsored or anything, but the hotel really had a lot of fun things to explore. Outside of the Aurora Discovery Institute, there are also a bunch of ice sculptures, and then there was a sledding hill. I told Amy that this looks a little bit sketchy, and she said, "Why not? It can't be that bad." Famous last words. Whoa! Oh man! You got some air on that video.
I should have gloves on, but that was great. Try it again.
Be sure to leave a like for Amy just crushing this sledding hill, and you'll see my sledding abilities a little bit later in the video. Yeah! Pikes Landing Ice Bridge. This is one of the famous signs in Fairbanks. And then the other one, it's right out there. Our next order of business was to cross the frozen ice bridge over to the famous Love Alaska sign. Pretty cool. I can easily say that I love Alaska. I spent the whole summer here and it's only 6 months later and I'm already back again. It's just an incredible state. There's not much information about this online, but I know it was designed to look like the famous Hollywood sign. All right, we're heading over to get dinner and that'll be the end of day 1. We have basically 24 hours of exploring tomorrow. For dinner, we walked over to Pikes Landing Bar and Restaurant, which is across the parking lot and which is owned by the hotel we were staying at.
Check out this drink that Josh ordered, the Love Alaska Aurora Mule.
Complete with a color-changing ice cube inside. How do you beat that? If we don't see the aurora, at least we saw it first night. Guaranteed to see the aurora if you buy one of these drinks. Just don't tell them I said that.
I think the Aurora vibes are coming.
I got the prime rib sandwich and Amy got the fish and chips, and it's typical American food, and do remember that basically everything is more expensive in Alaska, so you're gonna pay about $25 to $30 a person here. All right, unless the Northern Lights come out, we'll see you tomorrow. Starting our first morning in Fairbanks, ready to go explore.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a low of about 30 today, which is very, very nice. I'm excited about that. Also, the sun doesn't come up till around 9 a.m. this time of the year. Before heading out, our first order of business was to grab the breakfast buffet at the hotel, which was included in the price. We planned to spend most of the day in downtown Fairbanks, and so we grabbed a taxi to take us to North Pole first and then to drop us off in downtown. This is the day where I kind of wish I would have had a rental car, as it would have made it a lot easier and actually cheaper to do all these things. Just getting to North Pole from our hotel was around $45 each way. Check out what we made it to. Santa Claus's home in the North Pole.
Wow, who knew you could take an Uber there?
I'm pretty excited to explore. Santa Claus house in the North Pole has become a huge tourist attraction over the last few years. That's supposedly the world's largest Santa, and I wouldn't argue with that. It's pretty massive.
Sleigh ride, parking only. All others will be mistletoed. Oh.
After exploring the world's largest Santa, the next order of business is to head into Santa Claus house, which is open and Christmas themed year-round. The first time I went here with my dad in the summer, it was closed, so I am excited to finally be able to go in and see Santa Claus house. This spot has a fun history, and it was actually started in 1958 by Con and Nellie Miller. This isn't the original location, and Santa Claus house was actually a general store for the local community for the first few decades. It wasn't until the 70s when it moved to its current location, and it became the Christmas wonderland that it is today. You can meet Santa year-round here. Inside, you can find every different type of Christmas knickknack throughout the store's many different sections. There's also a soda fountain, coffee shop, cafe, and fudge kitchen where you can get something to eat if you'd like.
They make their own fudge here, and we got salted caramel cheesecake butterscotch. How can this be bad?
Seems pretty decadent.
That is for sure. Look at this thing. It's like ooey gooey caramely sugar.
Only one bite.
Only one bite is needed. Maybe two.
The other fun thing they'll do here is send a letter to your kids from Santa in December of the year. Amy is writing the kids a Christmas letter that's going to be mailed from Santa Claus house in December. How do you beat that?
I'm so on top of Christmas already this year. I'm feeling really productive in February.
Only 308 days until Christmas. After finishing up in the store, we walked around the outside of Santa Claus house and then headed on. That was a little bit smaller than I anticipated, but it was still a lot of fun. What did you think?
Super fun. I love all the different Christmas ornaments that you can get. Really cool place, especially for kids.
If you're in this area and you can make it down here, you definitely should. Saying goodbye to Santa Claus house, we got back in our taxi and headed 25 minutes back to Fairbanks and to the Museum of the North. The Museum of the North is located on the University of Alaska campus, and it's a fantastic museum. The museum has been on the campus for almost 100 years, originally located in different spots around the campus, and then moving to this location after it was built in 2005. According to the museum's mission statement, its purpose is to illuminate the natural and cultural history of Alaska and the North. And even though it's not that big, I'd say it does a great job of that with really fun exhibits. Check it out, that's a narwhal skull. Look at that thing coming out. I love narwhals, that's cool.
Did you know that the narwhal horn is actually a tooth? Read that in a book, Reading to Jack and Sunny. This is the blue babe. He died 36,000 years ago.
After exploring the exhibits downstairs, be sure to then head upstairs to see the massive whale bones they have on display and to see the art gallery that's located up there. Something I didn't realize is that you should definitely rent a car for a half day at least if you're going to be exploring the Fairbanks area. I thought I was going to be able to use Uber and Lyft, but unfortunately there's basically no drivers, so we're walking to our lunch spot and then we're going to take the bus to the Ice Art Championship area. I've always liked walking through college campuses and just seeing what they're like, especially full of snow like Fairbanks is. After about a 15-minute walk, we made it to our lunch, the Pad Thai restaurant. Supposedly Thai food is what you get in Fairbanks, and so we found this spot that we could walk to and we're going to give it a try. I asked a few people why there are so many Thai food restaurants in Fairbanks, and I didn't get any real direct answers other than that the local community loves Thai food. On my previous trip to Fairbanks, this is one of the things that I missed, and so I wanted to go to a few Thai restaurants while I was here, and I am so glad that I did, as it was very good. I'm very impressed with this. I've had a lot of Thai food, but this is good Thai food.
Well, I always ordered pad Thai when I'm not sure about the place, but this is like above average pad Thai. I am really excited about it, actually.
I will say that Thai food place was amazing, but definitely order less spice than you normally would. I ordered medium, which is perfect for me normally, and it was so hot. So just get like one step down and you'll have a great time there. Our next order of business was to walk across the street and wait for the bus to pick us up. Look at this snowbank. It's like 12 feet tall. That's a lot of snow. The bus cost $1.50 and it took us a mile and a half to our next stop. Did an easy 2-minute bus ride, and now we're about to go see some ice art. Fairbanks is home to the World Ice Art Championship, which brings artists from all over the world and is one of the largest ice art festivals in the world. It began in the early 1990s, and ever since then, each year the fairgrounds are taken over with some of the coolest ice sculptures you'll ever see. Checking off a bucket list item I didn't even know I had: mini golf on the ice. I thought we were just gonna be looking at sculptures when we made our way over here, but it was actually a lot more fun than that, with mini golf, ping pong, cornhole, and lots of other games you could play on the ice. Amy and I found that they give you sleds just for checking your ID in. So we got our sleds, we're gonna hit the awesome slopes they have here. First sled ride, Amy and I are racing.
3, 2,
oh my gosh. That was slightly terrifying. I did not expect it to go that fast or to smack my leg on
wow.
that. This is one of 3 sled hills that they had, with the third one being the most terrifying by far. As I came around the turn on the last one, I thought I was going to come out the back of my sled. It was so exhilarating.
So awesome. I love it. I love the racing slide the most.
I think that was the most fun I've had for $17 in a long time. We're going to see the ice sculptures and then head on. We visited during the early days of the event, so the competition was just getting started and most of the artists were still carving their work. The competition takes place back in the campground area, and each of the carvers had their own campground spot that they could work on. As we walked around, we saw a dozen or so different people working on their carvings, and it was pretty impressive to be able to see this in action. It's cool, it shows you what they're working on, so this is the piece that they're working on right there. We're here during the multi-block competition, which is in a couple days from now, so we're basically seeing it halfway done, but I think it's incredibly cool to be able to see it in process, even more so than even seeing it finished.
Yeah, super cool to see all the details that goes into it, and I didn't even know there was that many tools for ice carving.
We explored for a little longer and then called for a taxi to pick us up and take us back to the hotel. Playing some checkers while we wait for the shuttle to get here. Boo!
Look at that!
That place was a ton of fun, and we learned that Amy's good at checkers. Now we're heading back to the hotel to hang out before we go Aurora chasing tonight. We had about 5 hours to kill, so we grabbed food and then got all ready to set out. We're saying goodbye to our nice comfy cabin, and we are becoming Aurora chasers.
Oh man, let's do it.
Wish us luck. That moon right there and all the clouds is not a good sign for our chase. These Aurora tours are very popular in Fairbanks, and basically you sign up for a van and a guide to try to take you somewhere where there's clear sky. Got 30 minutes to kill before the tour, so I'm going to go to the Love Alaska sign, but Amy is hanging out in the hotel. It's pretty cool that they light this up from across the river. It's like our own private Aurora. You guys, I've wanted to see the Aurora my whole life. It's one of the top items on my bucket list. That's why we planned this whole trip. I don't think it's gonna happen tonight, but I'm trying to be optimistic. We are going to be chasing them for about 6 hours, so maybe we'll get lucky. Leave a thumbs up to hopefully give me some luck. If you're staying at the hotel, be sure to go see the Love Alaska sign at nighttime. It's really cool the way that they have the lights on it, which are constantly changing, and it definitely makes for some great pictures. All right, here we go. The next 5 hours, we're gonna be chasing the Aurora. Feels a lot colder than 31. Loaded up for the tour. Unfortunately, this is where the excitement ends for the Aurora tour. We were out from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. and drove over 240 miles, going all the way south of Delta Junction before making our way back to Fairbanks. Unfortunately, throughout that entire time, we struggled to find any real clear sky, and it was just a lot of waiting without anything happening. Still hunting for the northern lights. It's 2 a.m. in Delta Junction. No luck yet. If you do a tour like this, be prepared to sleep in a van, and hopefully you're actually able to see the Aurora. When we got back into Fairbanks at around 5 a.m., it did start to snow, and that was a pretty cool end to the tour. Made it back to the hotel. We did 240 miles of driving to try to find a place to see the northern lights, and it is officially 6 a.m. right now. We have to be up in 3 hours for dog sledding, so we'll see you tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have better luck next time. 3 hours later, we're awake for our dog sledding and our full day adventure to Chena Hot Springs. It also snowed last night, so we got fresh snow on the ground.
Doesn't stick.
Most of the Fairbanks tour operators will pick you up at your hotel, so you just need to be ready at the time that they tell you. We picked up a few other people and then made our way south past the North Pole to go dog sledding. The dogs seem excited to see us this morning.
They're ready for us to go.
Setting out on our dog sledding adventure. Plus, it looks beautiful out here with the snow that fell last night.
Can't beat it.
We did summer dog sledding before, where it was a full experience, interacting with the dogs, talking to people, and things like that. This was completely the opposite. We basically just showed up, we got on the dog sled, they took us on a run, and then we immediately went on to the next thing.
We just started.
And we're off.
No introduction. Here we go.
Of course, the experience was a lot of fun. We got about a 10-minute ride where we went in and out of the forest, and the dogs were interacting with each other and the owner and looking like they had a great time. Plus, it was a beautiful day in Alaska with a little bit of sun, and it wasn't too cold, which made the experience a lot more enjoyable as well. Eventually, we arrived back at the start, and it was time for the next group to go. We got to interact with the dogs while the other groups were finishing, and that was pretty fun as we got to give them some treats and just hang out with them.
Hi guys, I would like a treat. Would you like one? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
The last thing we got to do on this Fairbanks adventure is to take the drive out to Chena Hot Springs, to go to the hot springs, and to go to the ice museum. Just getting to Chena from Fairbanks takes about an hour and a half, and I have to say I'm glad I did not do this drive myself. With all the snow, the road was definitely in a pretty crazy condition, and there was multiple cars that were just pulled off to the side of the road because they didn't want to keep going. Luckily for us, our tour driver did it all the time, so it was no big deal for him, and we were able just to enjoy the scenery.
We made it to Chena Hot Springs. It's like a winter wonderland out here.
Chena is especially famous for two things, the hot springs and the ice museum, and we went into the ice museum first. Got our 2 appletinis secured, and our first thing is the ice museum.
Can't wait.
Amy loves appletinis.
Love them. It's like my absolute favorite thing ever.
The only access to the ice museum is via tour, and they offer multiple tours per day. The tour only has about 5 minutes of talking, and then you're free to explore the ice museum for the next 30 minutes. This museum is one of the world's largest year-round ice museums, and it was created from over 1,000 tons of ice and snow. It's so nice they provide a fireplace right inside of the ice museum for you. We were told it stays 25 degrees Fahrenheit inside year-round, and that it was built in 2005. When I visited in the summer, they gave you a parka to wear, but around this time of year, it's basically the same weather as it is outside. This is a wedding chapel. Do you wish you would have got married here?
Well, we definitely missed an opportunity.
It doesn't take very long to see the ice museum, as there's only a few exhibits out in the front, and then there's 4 different types of rooms in the back. What do you think? Are you bummed out that we didn't stay here?
You know, I'm like really pretty adventurous, but I have no desire to do that.
We were told that you could still stay in one of these rooms overnight, but I couldn't find any information about that online, so I'm not sure how that works anymore. Oh, now you can't complain about this one. This is a polar bear bed.
This feels like the king room. That is kind of terrifying, though.
Wake up in the middle of the night and you see, ah! It's a small museum, but it's a lot of fun, very creative, and then getting to have a drink at the end puts it over the top. Once you've explored to your heart's content, you can go over to the bar and get your appletini, which is poured right into a completely ice cup. Cheers!
Oh gosh, delicious.
I don't know, I don't think an appletini is as bad as Amy's face made it out to be. Plus, how do you beat just sitting at an ice bar, drinking a drink out of an ice glass? It's just cool. Amy's decided that appletini is her favorite drink of all time now. Just gonna keep making them at home.
For you, I will.
After finishing your drink, the tradition is that you have to take it outside and then smash it on the ground while making a wish. I don't think my world peace wish came true last time, but maybe it'll come true this time. Amy has to do a second round because she didn't break her glass very well. There you go. We traded our jackets for swimsuits, rented a towel, and then headed over to the famous hot springs. I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't already get in so that the video looks good.
Oh, it's so warm and freezing at the same time.
You gotta get in.
Oh, it's really nice. A little chilly on the way in, but really warm. And look at the snow with it. It looks so cool.
Not a bad way to end your time at Fairbanks. Kind of making me forget the 6 a.m. wake up this morning. just a little bit. The hot springs were founded over 100 years ago when 2 brothers stumbled on them while looking for hot springs in interior Alaska to cure pain they were both dealing with. In the early 1900s, they built 2 cabins, and then only 5 years later, 12 additional cabins were built to accommodate visitors. Since then, it's ballooned into a big resort and a reason that people come from all over the world to visit Fairbanks. This place is so relaxing, and the best part is that it's so big you can get away from people, so you don't have to be right next to anybody.
It's getting a little hot. Time to head out.
The last order of business was just to grab my camera and explore for about 30 minutes before it was time for the shuttle to take us back. It's so cool to see the hot water coming off of this and steaming up with these beautiful views. Plus, how can you ever beat seeing a dragon? And that's a cool dragon as well. Here's a few more views from the path that goes around the hot spring and that looks down on it and looks out into the Chena wilderness. After exploring the property, it's time for the hour-and-a-half drive back to Fairbanks. Sorry we couldn't show you the Aurora on this one.
But this won't be the last time, so we'll see you on the next one.